Hello and welcome back to Vampire. Now then, if you saw the last episode, you will know that we were having great difficulty. I spent the last half of that episode, 45 minutes, getting my arse handed to me by my sister, which is usually the way it goes if you're a sibling of a sister. Now, so we're here. I've brought us back to our closest hideout. I've got us some blood serum and regeneration serum, or health serum. We're going to sleep and we are going to level up. Now, I'm not completely sure what I want to level up. Although I think, given the fight that we're about to have, I think endurance is going to be a good one, because it seems that we really rely on endurance to make it through the whatever the things are that she manages to raise up from the ground that burst and emit some kind of poison gas, it seems. So we are going to boost our endurance up a couple levels. We did have 10,000 XP to work with, so let's just go with that. Maybe health too. I mean, it's not going to hurt, is it? It's literally not going to hurt us. And if anything, it's going to help us last a little bit longer before our arse officially ends up in our hands. Now, bite. I've also been encouraged, I guess healing is probably a good one. I've been encouraged to use a gun more. And I didn't even really think about using a gun. So that gives us trade blood to heal yourself instantly. 300 healing, 200 healing. But that also, for greater regeneration, you trade more blood to heal yourself instantly and gain an additional boost. I mean, that sounds really good. It's 2000 XP, we'll take it. It's funny because I don't really use this very much unless I'm in a situation like the one we're in at the moment where I really need it. Because I seem to run out of the serums. Man, our guy's shaking a bit, isn't he? He must be really feeling a surge as he levels up. Alright. So, how do we look here then? Is this probably really expensive? 3,000. I also like the claw. The claw's a really nice attack. 2,000 XP though. That's a hefty chunk of what we've got left. And this is blood, is it? Increase your blood absorption when using bite. Increase blood capacity. Yes. Yeah, I'll take that. Might even just level up 2 of these along with the bite, because the bite is a major boon to our fighting. So we've got 1600 left. Oh yeah, I wanted this. Oh yeah, I forgot. Shit, I should have probably got this. We can do a couple of these. Okay, so that's really going to help us. And more bullets I'm not too worried about. I think everything else would probably be too expensive to do. 1300. That coagulation one's good as well. It's like a crowd control, CC move, isn't it? Where you hold them in place. Autophagy. This one, we've just done this one, didn't we? Yeah. 2700. So I think we'll just probably go with that. Hard biting. So this is your life regen using. So what did I do for bite? Oh, blood absorption. Okay. I wouldn't have minded. Mind you, these are quite expensive. Increase the damage inflicted. To be honest, I'm not too fussed about damage with bite, although I do sometimes see myself when I'm doing the bite thinking I wish it did more damage. But at the end of the day, it's really there as a kind of, you know, blood refresh, blood absorption. So these are the more, this one being the more important one, I think, to level up. Anyway, no, don't lose them. Let's confirm it and see what damage we have done to the society around us. Christian, faith, or cult? What is immortality? Having your name inscribed in history, raising children who will honour your memory, earning your place among the saints of heaven. Sean Hampton, founder of the Hampton Asylum in East End, has his opinion on the matter. Eternity comes to those who bear divine presence in themselves. Mr. Hampton, also known as the Sad Saint for his unequalled empathy toward others and his constant pity for their plight, has created with his asylum a haven for lost souls. He keeps the poor fed and gives them a roof to sleep under. Still, the asylum has now been closed for a few days, and his last accessible orations took a turn towards cult-like worship. If heresy can be defined as faith gone adrift, Sean Hampton and his flock may have been turned into heretics. For the first time since I have known the Sad Saint, people speak ill of him, and the mysterious chants heard through the closed doors of the shelter worry more than they encourage. As a possible consequence of this suspicion, the sanitary situation of the docks has drastically decreased. Deprived of a place to rest, the poor get sick from sleeping rough, preferring to catch their death under the stars than join an unknown cult. That alone says enough of the tarnished reputation of the Sad Saint, a reputation that will be restored only when the doors of his asylum open once again. How interesting. So we killed the nurse in the first district, the first situation, and that lowered the sanitation rate because obviously she was a nurse, she was helping people, and now we've allowed to let Sean live, and that's decreased the sanitation because he's becoming a poison, or has become a poison on the environment around him. So that, again, it really does align with the kind of character we're playing as anyway. So they are now still and only just on critical. Major event, yes. And the prices and stocks in the merchants has been changed. Yeah, so they're still critical, not hostile, but critical. So it looks like the docks is kind of done for. No change at the hospital, or just a slight reduction in Whitechapel. 1%. This one shouldn't have changed. Ooh, who's that? That's our mum. I see. Oh, so we don't know any of these people because we haven't been here yet. Well, I wonder who's connected to her then. Right. So we are now a level higher. Which means that we must destroy our sister. Meanwhile, so we've unlocked these. Now, they're a little bit more expensive to craft. I had something up here to analyze when I first got into the game, so regenerate 500 points of health instantly, then 300 health points per second, which is 200 more health points and double the amount of health regen over 15 seconds. So we'll make these. We'll use them both. And we'll get some blood serum going as well. Can't make these anymore. Don't have a watery, sturdy blood sample. Same for this one. So we'll start out maybe we'll just start out with the best ones. And then switch to those if we need to. It's good that we can switch them out. Like, we can literally come in here, go here, and switch them over. Let's do that now, just for starters. So now up is a strong blood regen, health regen. So I really want to wait till I'm low health to use that. And this is still a light blood regen serum. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Let us proceed with the proceedings. And it was this was the way I came in. We might have a couple of skulls to fight because we had a few on the way in. See if I can bypass them. Maybe not. Shit. Stop using that, man. Oh, I had the wrong thing equipped. Damn. I've been encouraged to use bullets on Mary, which we'll give it a go. Is it this way? I think it was up here, wasn't it? No, it was this way. We need blood. Oh, mind you, we do have the priest. And we are having the priest. Because last time we let the priest live, and Mary decided she was going to have the priest. Naughty girl. Okay, it's this way up here. Oh. Didn't realise there was a shortcut there. So now I'm confused. Okay, it wasn't a shortcut. Alright guys, let's get back in the zone. I think I might stick with the lock-on for this one. One-on-one, the lock-on does seem pretty useful. I found you can't really switch targets with the lock-on with the right stick. You can only switch targets if they're in front of you. Whereas other games, you know, if you've got an enemy behind you and you switch lock-on, the lock-on will automatically shift to the person behind you, but it doesn't here. Near lie the remains of Giselle Paxton. Oh, she's been buried. And her sister. So those are our two contributions to society. Sorry, two of our contributions. You know, if there's less people around, then there's less chance for the virus to spread, clearly. It's just logic.
In the name of Christ, someone help me!
Here, let me help you.
You've killed me, brother!
I'll help you out. Come here, give me a second. There you go.
Jonathan, kill him. Revel in your true nature.
Alright, let's get it on.
Assassin! Rest in peace, monster. You left me to rot in this grave. Come to me, Jonathan. Kinslayer! Kiss me again, sweet.
Okay.
All duty.
So I didn't realize if you initiate that ultimate from a distance that you jump in and then jump back to where you started. I hadn't really put that together before now.
What have you done?
Our stamina's way higher, isn't it?
You left me to rot in this grave. Kiss me again, sweet brother. You've killed me, brother. What have you done? Those you spared, Hampton, don't expect the same mercy. Rest in peace, monster.
It's this last phase. This last phase that gets me.
Come to me, Jonathan.
So close.
Kiss me again, sweet brother.
Yes. I just wanted to be friends.
Well, brother, it's time to bring this conversation to an end. Forever.
Why? It doesn't need to be this way.
You know I will not play this game.
Calm now, Doctor. Like a rabid dog. Or think you're performing an autopsy.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'll kill them all. The kind Dr. Swansea.
Don't worry.
The sweet little lass with hair of red.
That's my plan anyway.
I am the harbinger, bringing your punishment.
Mary.
Don't you see? This is not me. Flesh that never ages. All nightmare, no dream. Bring it to a close. Let me sleep.
Well, she wants to die, does she?
I will find a cure, Mary. I swear it.
Then, at last, I can forgive you.
Is that it? Are we just waiting here, are we? Okay, I'm controlling this now. Well, I'm just walking forward. I'm not doing anything else. Am I supposed to do something else? No, just walk forward, okay? So this is where she was buried. She obviously broke out of the coffin. A few nights later.
Blood. as I shed one last red tear for my fallen sister. I realize the entire world now revolves around this singular word. The epidemic that has stricken London is not the Spanish flu. It is transmitted through the blood, via violent biting, turning survivors into frenzied immortals. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed. I am a vampire, born anew into an age of death and pestilence. While plotting factions close in around me, I am sworn to find the source of this epidemic. I am convinced greater perils are still to come. I know the answers I seek are hiding in our blood.
Chapter 4. Rising Fever. Find the origin of the epidemic in the West End. Lady Ashbury's invitation. Dear Dr. Reed, I hope this letter will quickly find you, for I need to speak to you as soon as possible. The situation is evolving very quickly in the West End. I'm convinced we are all now in great danger. The Guard of Prywen has launched a great hunt in London, and for a few nights they have been actively searching and killing any Econ they can locate. Lord Redgrave, chairman of the Ascalon Club, recently contacted me. He wishes to meet you immediately. Please come to my mansion any night that suits you. We must discuss all of this. With this letter you will find an official pass that will allow you to go through any barricade or quarantine checkpoint throughout the city. Your friend, Lady Ashbury. So I guess all the doors are open now, are they? And we're back at the hospital. Are we? The Great Hunt. A few nights have passed since I buried my demented sister Mary for good. The same questions are still tormenting me. Has this horror no end? Am I getting used to it? Since Mary was the vampire following or preceding me, since I had made her an immortal, who made me? And why? London is the core of uncanny forces that are still intriguing in the shadows. And my allies are but a few. Edgar Swansea is still administering the Pembroke Hospital despite the increasing sanitary crisis. Lady Ashbury is still supporting us by financing the facility. Both have left me alone for the last night, since I needed time to focus on the situation. The danger is still here, I can almost feel it. Tonight, I received a letter from the lady inviting me to meet at her house as soon as possible. Maybe it's time for me to move again and go find all the answers to my many questions. I must agree. So we are back at the hospital. We are now level 23. We've got 3000 XP. And I am starving. I am so hungry you wouldn't believe how many people I think I might need to eat. Ooh, yummy. Wow, there's lots of people here to eat. Good old Milton. He's been on the cards for the longest time, hasn't he? I think he was the first person I wanted to eat. After all, we're leaving. We're moving to the West End. What need have we for... are we around the back of the hospital here? Hello, Rakesh.
And faded walls are all I have to offer as a final resting place. This is a poor hospital.
Let's go talk to him because we did his quest.
But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
I have retrieved your letter, Mr. Goswick. I can assure you that nobody read it but me.
Thank you. This is for you, then. For your help. And for your silence.
I think you should talk to your mother. It would be good for both of you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I'll think about it. Now please, let me be.
I've read your letter, Mortimer. You wrote about an unbearable feeling of despair while the world crumbles around you. Tell me more about it.
There's nothing more to say, really. It's hurtful, it's unbearable, and I don't ask anyone to understand what I feel.
The world is bleak, but maybe the pain we feel is the best compass for making it a better place.
How can we repair the world, Dr. Reed, when mankind is the biggest problem? Yes, the world will be a much better place when we're gone.
People say that a lot, don't they? Like mankind is the issue. It's not. It's not that mankind is the problem. It's the way that we live. You know, it's the things that we think and the way that we act. Some of the things that we do. Some of the things that we hold on to. You know, it's the destructive qualities to our way of life that's the problem. It's not us. You know, we have the capacity for amazing things if we're guided in the right way. If we guide ourselves in the right way. You know, it's not us in and of ourselves, you know.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Oh, okay.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doc.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
I have to go now, sir.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Mortimer is extremely vague as to his motivations for committing suicide. Tell me more about what you know.
As you say, Mortimer had no reason to die. All he said to me was that he wanted to make the world a better place, but couldn't.
Why did your son feel so useless when facing the world?
I think it was more that he could only see the melancholy facets of life. He couldn't help but dwell on such things.
What do you think he meant by making the world a better place?
Mortimer has always been a sensitive soul. He wouldn't talk to anyone for months after his father passed. It's like he carries everyone's sadness with him.
Do you realize your son could try to kill himself again? He might succeed next time.
I think about it every minute. But I won't stop fighting for my son's future. That's how much I love him.
You're right. Your son's death was not fatal. And unlike many on their own, he is lucky to have you by his side.
I can't give up on him. I just can't. I have conceded many times in my life, but giving up on my son is something I am incapable of.
She's maxed out 4,000 XP. Okay, I'm not going to tell her about the suicide note.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
We'll keep our patient's confidentiality of the utmost importance. I'm looking for the front exit entrance. Not this way. Oh, yummy.
Time has lost its effect on me.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft.
Not well. Eternity can be such a burden. Did you know that Thomas is dead?
Mr. Elwood? Yes, I know about his death.
His blood now runs through this decaying body. I see things much more clearly now. I've even started to sense things about you.
Like what?
And what exactly have you learned about me?
You're cold, Doctor. As cold as those steel blades you surgeons wield so nimbly. Sometimes, I wonder if you have any feelings at all.
That's quite a statement, Miss Howcroft.
But there is more, isn't there? Your interest for my condition. Your subtle innuendos. Are we the same, Doctor?
Oh, please let me turn her.
No, I'm worse than you, Thelma. We both pretend to be something we're not, but my deceptions are far more malignant.
For once I sense real honesty in your voice, Dr. Reed. Somehow that frightens me.
Oh man, I wanna so bad.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire?
2000 XP.
Here in London?
Yes, and it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
Imagine if you could turn people in this game, or in a game like this, and have them become part of your clan, or whatever it is they call them. Nest? I don't know what they call them.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
Do you think about Thomas's death sometimes?
Every night. I didn't want to kill him. I liked him. Now people will hunt me down.
She's not moving her mouth. So I was reading the words at the bottom.
You're safe as long as you stay in the hospital. No one will hunt you here, I promise.
These walls will not protect me, Doctor. They will never forget the crime I've done. And nor will I.
You are a patient here, Miss Howcroft. Someone with real needs who deserves peace and treatment. I will protect you.
Don't be ridiculous, Doctor. How could a mortal carry all the pain of the world on his shoulders? I should be far more cautious.
You're no murderer, trust me. Only a fool would believe otherwise.
How long before other mortals start hunting me? As always, blood is the only price for blood.
I like her. I'm going to leave her. I want to keep her.
Judging by the look in your eyes, there is something you want to ask me, Miss Howcroft.
Listen to my voice, Jonathan.
Please let me turn
You can't
people.
refuse to answer my questions. Speak now. Tell me about you and that fancy red-headed lady.
You mean Lady Ashbury? What about her?
Don't resist me. Answer now, Doctor. What's really going on between you two?
Well, I wouldn't say I love her, but I want to know what the... I don't like the other options either. Not sure if I can trust her. No, I do trust her, Lady Ashbury. And there's definitely not nothing at all. I would rather answer like, you know, I'm not sure yet, or... It's undetermined at this point, you know, like... But I'm going to have to answer this one, because that's kind of where I'm leaning towards, like... I just want to be able to have them all, you know, like, what's the problem? I'm a vampire. I should be able to amass as many friendships and friends as I like.
I love her. I love her dearly.
Oh, come on, that was too corny, man.
It's that simple.
Now, Jonathan, I want you to forget we had this little conversation. You can get back to what you were doing.
Yeah, the game needs more expansion. Like, I mean, it doesn't. This game works as for what it is, but you know, I'm always when I play games, part of me is always looking at it as a sort of platform for potential. That's one of the probably the main reason behind that is how much I play Fallout 4 and a bit of Skyrim, you know, in the past. And because those games are moddable, you look at it and you think, wow, with a mod here and a mod there and a mod here, it could become this and expand on the gameplay. Like, we need to see a game like this that drastically expands the freedom that you have, you know, to control your character, to influence the world, to, oh, we just need a Grand Theft Auto Vampires, you know, like, and even more beyond that. Not quite Grand Theft Auto, but, you know, I mean, like, something that's that detailed. Even a Fallout 4, a Fallout-style thing, you know, where you can have people, have clans with all the blood mechanics and all of it, you know, it would just be amazing. Alright, we'll leave you alone for now. I like her.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark.
She's the one. If we get to the point where we can turn people, which I doubt we will in this game, but if we do, we probably won't.
Blood boil with the fever.
She's coming with us. She's destined for it. She wants it so bad, you know. We'll give it to her. We'll give her just... What was that noise? What was that noise then? Oh, was it that? I think I just hovered over a few people all at once, didn't I? Pippa Hawkins, where is your man, Pippa? He seems to have disappeared. But look, it's nice and clean in here now. Where is Mr. Milton, whatever his name was? Aha, here he is. Pippa, I just need to have a little talk with your...
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor.
Your
Still
man
trying
here.
to save...
I'd like to see...
Wise choice.
Now these parts we need to upgrade our gun. That part there. Giselle's dagger. Yeah, sell it. This is all junk. I think I'd rather... It would be nice if it told me here what components they have in them. You know, because otherwise I've got to go... I mean, I can get rid of that. Otherwise I've got to go to the workbench to have a look. Or maybe it tells me in here, does it? No, it's the same menu. Yeah, I don't know what exactly what components they can be turned into.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doc.
It's interesting to me that, you know, after you sleep, everyone then responds to the death of that character. And I literally just walk past people with him here, like this. And raising no suspicion. Fair enough. So after we kill him, you know, Pippa will respond to that once we've slept. And people will respond to it. So although, you know, because I've kind of really only got like 6 days with the game, 2 episodes a day, I've got my kids in it from an hour, so, you know, I'll probably only get this episode out today and maybe one more tomorrow. trying to make a fair amount of progress in the game. So
Pippa, my princess, flee away while you can, for all is lost.
don't worry, she's coming with you, mate. You know, if you took a long time. Hello, Pippa.
Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
If you really took your time with this game, kill one person in an environment, then sleep later on, and then check around everyone again, and you're going to get all of the lore, all of the experience of the different character expressions, you know? Would have been nice to see Milton's body there as well.
I knew I should have fled this rotten city with Milton since the first day of the contagion.
Good. We just had a big fight, you know. It's like, you know, you're exhausted, you've been exercising all day, you need to go and have a big meal. A nice, nutritious meal, and she was very lucky too. Alright, so who else we got here? The Great Hunt. Do we have one more? One more little snack? Do we have one more little snack before we, Yeah. Although, he's sick. Newton Bly, he's a decent amount of XP. Let's, yeah, I never liked this guy. Dr. Ackroyd. He's usually hanging out in one of these corridors. Hello. What are you doing? He's hanging out next to this poor soul.
Good evening, Dr. Ackroyd.
If you say so.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague, and very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansea, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Oh, what just happened? Has he always been level 4? He didn't just level up, did he? Oh, damn, okay.
Thank you for your time.
We'll leave him alone.
We'll talk later.
I could have sworn he was within our... Maybe I didn't read it properly. Alright, we'll carry on with the mission then. We'll save that snack for later.
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Your attitude is irresponsible, Doctor. Believe me, I've seen so many medical errors caused by exhaustion during the war.
You're right. This is a war, Dr. Reed, and I don't intend to surrender.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
We'll leave him. He's nice. You know, it's kind of like, all right, you go to a restaurant, you order your entree, you have your entree, you order your meal, you have your meal, and then they come over, your main meal, and then they come over and say, look, sorry, we're out of dessert. And you're like, it's okay, don't worry about it. I've had my, I'm pretty full. You know, the dessert was just going to be a little bit of a bonus. You know, a little bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a moment of enjoyment. And that's what Dr. Tippett's was going to be. But, well, that's what my third meal was going to be. But, you know, we're basically full. We don't need to eat dessert, you know? Most of the time, it's not even really nutritious anyway. Well, hello, boys. Is this the right way I'm going here? Meet Lady Ashbury in the West End. Okay, so this must be the entrance to the West End then. There's going to be a lot more places unlocked now, isn't there? What the fuck was that? Is that one of those werewolves? Oh yeah. So the game actually removes your auto lock when you do your ultimate, which is not the coolest thing, but I guess, you know, if there's multiple people around, you're probably darting between them, so maybe it's something to do with just a bit of a bug.
I cannot enter.
What? Oh, did I just go really the wrong... Like super long way round. I could have just gone across here. Shit. I'd love for that to be like an aimed move as well. Like you could aim, you know, you could sort of hold the left trigger to aim and decide how far you wanted to jump. And the further you jump, the more stamina you would use, you know? Or the further you held down the button, if it wasn't an aim thing.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top! All of them. Your bloody is killing. Grenade! A bit of fire! It ain't human! You're mine, Steady, boys! We've got one of them here!
Fucking hell, man, they're becoming a bit tough now. I was miles away from that. Oh shit. See if I can just run. I don't think I've tried to run from a fire yet, have I? This the right way? No. It's not, is it? Bitch.
A leech! A leech! Cross the leech!
Oh dear. Okay, I didn't realise it was going to be this bad. Okay, as long as I've got the stamina, maybe it's not too bad. Where the fuck am I going? Oh wow, I've gone the wrong way. Shit. Yeah, I completely read the map wrong there. Hopefully I can get through this way. Oh, what? let me try and get a clear eye here. So I've got to go all the way up and to the left.
Watch yourselves! Here's one of them! This one's mine! All of you bloody leeches keep killing! It's up to us! This one's mine!
So it was this way.
You must prepare, child, for the earth is bleeding and the harvest is upon us.
Stay away! Whoever you are!
This is no time for petty quarrels, my champion. Can you not hear? The famished queen has awoken.
See, I don't like any of those options, but...
Leave me! Return to the shadows and never come back!
But the shadows are our home. And wherever you stand, my son, I stand beside you.
I had to kill Mary!
I have known your pain, child. Do not succumb to...
Silence! I dismiss you, now!
The land calls for a champion. All and everyone needs you.
Silence!
He sounds
tired of all these puppet shows.
Jonathan sounds like a little bit of a toddler throwing a tantrum, you know. Yeah, I'd love more. Oh.
They want war. I'll show them war.
Whatever this poor woman did, nobody deserves this kind of punishment.
I'd love more of a reflection of like, and it's probably really hard to do it as a game developer, and obviously whatever the you know, whether or not it's hard, it's a much more branching story that's required, isn't it, if you're able to express more of a positive attitude to a lot of these encounters and situations. You know, we're role-playing that we're a vampire, kind of on board with being a vampire and wanting to be a vampire and let go of our humanity, but Jonathan here has different expressions for a lot of the encounters. But I guess that's just where he's at, and it's my fault really for wanting that in a game that's obviously not that. It isn't that kind of game. So we can't actually make them. Okay, so now we've got now we've got the ability to make stronger blood serums. Now these ones aren't as strong, but they use like a fraction of the amount of opium. Literally a quarter, 2 versus 8 per. So it almost makes sense to kind of stick with this one. Similar probably with this one too, to be honest. Anyhow. So I think we are
It's locked, all right.
But we were told, she told us that we could get anywhere now. Everywhere's going to be open, or... She gave us a pass to get through any barrier or any... You know... Do I have to read the pass? With this letter, you'll find an official pass that will allow you to go through any barricade or quarantine checkpoint. Okay, alright, okay, never mind. I mean, I got barricade. I sort of just thinking that the doors were going to be unlocked now, but... So there must be a way around here that I'm not finding. Hopefully it's not all the way down there. I suppose it could be. But... Unless... Maybe I don't go in through this way and I go around. I mean, I couldn't get through there. There was a barricade. There was a barricade, wasn't there? How about up here then? See, that feels good. Being able to do that in longer distances. Okay, well, I don't really want to be going there. See, I'm miles away here from where I'm trying to go. How the hell do I get to the West End then? Maybe across here? Do I really have to go all the way up?
Oi! You listening? It's not human. Kill it.
What the hell's going on right now with regards to this map?
No rest for the wicked.
So the gate's locked.
Remember your vows, friend.
Oh, it's because I was in combat, was it? Yeah, we didn't come this way, did we? We haven't actually been here before. I don't think. So I'm guessing that there's a barricade here and a barricade here that we can now get through. So I just couldn't get through these ways, or here, or wherever else I just was. Okay, so we've got to go all the way around. Now we've got to go through Whitechapel.
Sorry, sir. Over there! There's one of them burning! Bloody monster! Don't you know better?
So I'll try this area here.
See them fancy clothes? It's one of them!
It's locked. How are you, Mr.
They killed...
Ice.
I should have...
I need blood. And Jonathan's getting a little bit tired of all this combat. So he needs to refresh his spirit a little bit. I can see how tricky it is to balance out a lot of these mechanics, you know, and I think I've learned a little bit since I started the game. I've had a little bit of a look at some of the reviews for the game, just because, well, I'm thinking of doing
Was my life a waste? Have I saved anyone from my Albie's fate?
I was thinking of, or I'm still thinking of doing my own review for the game after I finish it. And so I've had a little bit of a look at other people's reviews, the sort of things they've mentioned. And I know there was a lot of disappointment around the game, a lot of expressed disappointment. And although, you know, a lot of positive points for it as well. But I think a lot of people were let down by their own expectations, really. Which is what I'm sensing in myself is, you know, I want so much more from the game at certain points. As much as I'm loving what's here, I'm running into so many moments in the game where I was like, oh, wish that was a little bit different this way, and I wish that was a little bit different this way. So that's a sign of a couple of things to me. It's one, it's a sign of a great desire in people. Pretty much everyone, every review they mention is this lacking somewhere. And it's not to even really go against what has been offered with Vampire, because it is a great experience and it's a fun game to play. But when, you know, because of the fact we're so far into how games are these days, and we've had so many other tastes of other more expansive experiences with these types of open world environments and RPGs, specifically role-playing environments. Obviously then we feel like it's, I guess, taking a little bit of a step back if you're not able to do that in a game like this, if you're not able to do those types of things. So, you know, forgetting that, it's a great experience that we've been offered here. But it also, again, it's a reflection of this craving that we have for somebody to fill that hole for us with regards to a vampire game. Clearly, we want that. And I can see how it would be very difficult to give this kind of experience that you want to give with the deep RPG narrative and story-based and choice-based experience in that type of game. And I know it would be doable, but at the same time, clearly it's a massive undertaking to try to make such an expansive world and then have it all completely like the player can tip the scale one way and then tip it another way and then tip it another way and have that then expressed and revealed in how the world is operating. Like, it's a massive, essentially it's like, I feel like it would probably have to create 4 or 5 different world games in one, different worlds in one game. Because depending on the choices the player makes, the world's got to be expressed and evolve in a completely different way. Now I can see why it's so desirable.
I cannot enter.
I can't figure out how to get into Whitechapel, guys. West End, I mean. I was told that I could, with this pass, I can get through any barricade or any barrier. So I'm a bit confused as to what's going on right now. I'm going to try up here. I mean, there's only 3 ways to go. There's there, there's here, and there's here. Now, clearly, my destination is here, and I've tried to get through here already. Somewhere here there was a barrier. And did I try to get through here too? So, my only other potential option now is to turn left. Which I can't. I can't get down that road there.
It's locked.
So clearly there's a space for this type of game, but taken to that level of detail and freedom. Like, one of the things I'm sensing right now is, you know, I want to progress and explore and continue on, but I'm facing a lot of restriction in my movement. So I've got to kind of kill my own desire for more freedom. So I guess that I was having that thought, and that's why I brought this up, is I can see why it's very difficult. You know, as a creator of a game like this, you're faced with sticking to what you want to present down a kind of linear structure. Like, you have to do these missions before you can access this zone. You have to approach this area. You know, there's 5 different ways you can go, but you can't really. There's only one way you can go. Like, that to me is a constant pushback on my desire to progress, and so that's on me. I'm constantly faced with limitation after limitation when I'm trying to make progress down the way that I want to do it. So I've got to play the game the developers want me to play right now, which I guess it really depends on the kind of person you are as to whether you resonate with that or not. Clearly, some people are down just to offer to play the experience they've been given. And I think some people, probably people a little bit like me, don't like so much to be limited to playing the game in a certain way only. Especially in a game that claims to give you great freedom. Although I don't know whether it does, but, you know, certain elements you're making your choices. So you've got freedom of choice, but you haven't got freedom of movement. So it's definitely just sort of expressing, you know, the kind of feelings I'm having at the moment while playing. It definitely feels like a restriction on my ability to play the game with a high level of enjoyment. Of course I'm going to continue to play because I want to know how the story goes, but I feel like I would have had such a higher level of enjoyment if those other elements were taken care of in the same way. Now, honestly, dude, I'm fucking so lost right now. I'm going to try again down here. It took us back to the hospital and told us we've got to go here. What is that? Dr. Swansea's got new dialogue available. Alright, here's what we're going to do. Let's go and have a chat with the doctor, and then we'll round out this episode. And when we get back into the next episode, I'll try to figure out how the hell to get us across to the West End. So it's, you know, on my end, I can say, alright, well, I'll let go of my own desire then. I'll let go of my own wishes and wants for the experience, and I can do that. But the reason it keeps coming up is it's like, well, there's definitely then a craving, and that ties me back to all the other reviews that I saw for the game. People want that. They want that in an experience, and although this is amazing, people wanted this to fulfill that desire, and I did too, and I still do. So I guess if you're a developer out there, you know, that's if you can offer that for people, or if the developers of this come back with a Vampire 2 and they decide to fulfill those people's wishes, man, you've got a recipe for success, you know. Hello, Dr. Swansea.
Jonathan, old chap, how are you tonight? I've seen little of you of late.
I was conducting research in my room, away from the nightly routines.
Of course, of course. Worry not, I understand. The situation has been testy around here. I won't deny it, but we still stand.
I have received an alarming letter from Lady Ashbury. She wants me to meet her at her house. I have been granted safe passage.
Then you are twice fortunate. I have never been invited to the lady's mansion, and with the quarantine and controls, city access is nigh impossible.
Is the quarantine serving any purpose?
It is helping slow the propagation of the epidemic. But as long as we have no clue to its origin, its efficiency is limited.
Wonder if you could opt out of... Do they have a vaccine? No, they don't, do
Why
they?
have you never entered the lady's house? You are one of her good friends, are you not?
My dear Jonathan, you have no idea how reclusive the good lady normally is, nor in what great esteem she must hold you to let you into her domain.
We're going to be finishing up in a second, guys. We'll get through this, though.
Have you any reliable friends in the West End who might assist me?
Unfortunately, you will be alone. Except for our ravishing red-headed acquaintance, of course.
What of my commission here at Pembroke Hospital?
Nothing to fear, Jonathan. Your position here is in no jeopardy. You remain one of us, and you are always most welcome.
What about the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole? Where are they?
There are only a few of us, and most others would not speak to you. I am the black sheep of our brotherly flock, you know.
Whoa. 6,000 XP. This is a problem because I like him and he's never done anything to hurt us, but he's full of delicious nutrition.
What news do you bring?
The news is not good, my friend. We try to keep the epidemic at bay, but street violence is escalating quickly.
Yeah, no shit. Probably about me, partly my fault.
Tell me more about the violence.
Mostly my fault.
Jeffrey McCallum seems to have sent his war dogs on a hunt. On a nightly basis, Pre-Wen patrols exterminate every skull and vampire they find.
Have they come closer to the hospital?
No. They mainly focus on fallen districts or abandoned buildings. But they're growing in numbers. They must be recruiting heavily.
How bad is the epidemic?
It is killing the infected patients faster. In less than 2 days now.
Ooh, so
the
the
only
deaths...
blessing is that they are contagious for a shorter period.
The deaths, the amount of deaths in a district will be ramping up now then if we don't cure them, so it's just like all hope is lost at this point. It was lost a few episodes ago when I decided I was just going to eat everyone.
Thank you, Edgar. We shall speak again later.
Not for us, though. You know, everyone else's hope is lost, but our hope has gone through the roof. So much more food to eat. Right, now maybe because we've done him, maybe now there is greater... maybe now we can move through the streets. But anyway, I can't really do it now because I've got to go and pick up my kids. Like, you know, in the next hour, basically. Anyway, you don't need to know that, but all I'm saying is I can't continue on now. So we'll be back tomorrow for one more episode. It looks like I may not get a chance to finish this game this week, which is a bit of a bugger. However, it's going to be quite common that I think, especially with, you know, the games that we play. There's not many games that you play, I think, that you can cover in like 12 hours with regards to a campaign, which is basically all I get each week to play a story game like this at the moment, anyway. Because I'm only doing 2 episodes a day, and then on weekends 1 a day when I've got my kids. So I'll do my best with each game to get through a decent portion of it, but I was thinking about this earlier. I think there's a kind of hidden positive to me not finishing the game on the channel, and that is that, you know, you have seen me. Maybe you have played the game already, maybe you haven't. You have seen me play a decent portion of the game, but you haven't seen me play the whole thing. So there's still a lot of elements for your own playthrough. That's if I never get back to it. Now, with a game like this, which I am quite invested in, there is a very, very good chance, somewhere in the region of 90%. The challenge being, though, as well, that there are so many other games to play on the channel. And in terms of coming back to this game, I don't know when that's going to be. But honestly, this is the kind of experience that I will walk away from. If I put this game down tomorrow, I will walk away from it thinking about it a lot, and my thoughts will always return to it because it's unfinished. And so my thoughts want to know what the outcome of the story is. It's like never seeing the end of a movie. It's like, well, what the hell happened? So if that's the case, I will have to return to it at some point for my own enjoyment, at which point I'll definitely be putting it on the channel, because I'm not going to play it outside of the channel, you know. Not with how much work I do on the channel and how much I want to put on the channel anyway. So if that happens with a game, it most likely won't happen with this, but if that ever does happen with a game where I don't actually get to finish it and it doesn't come back on the channel, then I guess you'll have to play it yourself, won't you, to discover the ending of it, which is a bit of a double-edged sword, because I know maybe some of you don't want to, but at the same time, it's like, well, you know, it's spoiler-free. If you do want to play the game, you can still play it, because none of us know what the ending is. And I guess you could even come back and tell me what the ending is if I never get around to it. But like I say, and I'll finish up here, is in a game like this where I'm very, very invested in it, psychologically and emotionally, I want to know how this goes. And I honestly feel like the West End is going to be the best portion of the game. I think like the high society vampires are probably going to be here. And maybe the politics, the vampire politics now is what we're going to get introduced to. At least that's my feeling. I don't know this, but based on what the game has offered to us so far, that's how my own pacing is being predicted. You know, like I predict that's where we're going. Ooh, what's this down here? See, there's this as well. An unknown event happened, and I only just noticed that exclamation mark over here for the first time. I haven't noticed any of them either. Oh, there's one down here as well. God, there's still this whole area we haven't been to yet. So anyway, well, that's what I'm saying, is there's still a little bit more to go in this game. So there is a good chance it'll return to the channel. I just don't know when that's going to be. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this episode, and we will be returning back for more tomorrow. Let's, before we do anything else... This one used to have the option to fulfill the things, didn't it? The serums. Maybe we just don't have the supplies. I keep thinking that's a letter for us there on the corner of the table. Now, poor
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Okay, let's sleep and evolve, and then we'll be ready for the next episode. So we've got 7,000. I think I'd like to upgrade the claw. And bite. And blood from the bite. Yeah, I want more blood. I want a lot more blood. I want to max this out pretty soon. In fact, I'm going to max this out next time round. Because it's that, you know, we seem to be kind of having lost all our blood. Then we have to, you know, start kind of biting people to get it all back quite often in combat. So I want to max out the amount of blood we get each time we do that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this episode of Vampire. There will be at least one more tomorrow. If I can... Ooh, we've gone down to serious here. They have stayed at 50%. He's gone down to 50 here at Whitechapel. These guys still haven't been touched. If I get chance to, I'll try to squeeze in another episode, because I feel like another 2 or 3 episodes would be good to make a decent amount of progress into West End, just to get a real good grip of what it is for the channel. But that may not happen. We may only get one more. And if that's the case, then, well, we'll just have to see, won't we? As I was saying, when I can return to it at some point, and I don't know when that will be. That's probably going to happen quite a lot with some of these longer games. Otherwise, we're faced with not playing them. Like, some games have got a fucking 40-hour or a 60-hour campaign. Apparently, like, Red Dead Redemption is up towards the 80 to 100-hour mark for most people's playthroughs. So, like, if I want to play that on the channel, I'm only going to be able to get through so much. Otherwise, it's going to take so much space, which takes up other games. This takes up the space of other games. But anyway, this is stuff that I've got to figure out in the background. It doesn't really concern you. I'm just informing you so you know what is going on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for this episode of Vampire. I hope you will join me for the next episode, which could well be the last for this season of Vampire. But we'll have to wait and see. See you in the next one. Goodbye for now.